Hi there. Today we're going to do a tapping or EFT. This is emotional freedom technique. So for those of you that are not familiar with emotional freedom technique, I am going to run through it. So if you are familiar with emotional freedom technique, feel free to jump ahead if you like. First, we are going to be using these meridian points on the body, and we're going to start by tapping this one we call the karate chop point. It's just the side of the hand. Then we're going to move to the top of the head. So you're really aiming for like the crown of the head, and you don't need to hurt yourself. You're tapping enough to activate or to feel the sensation up there. So you're just tapping there. We're going to move to between your eyebrows. Okay, so you can use 2 fingers, 1 finger. It's really flexible. This can be done with one hand. This I like to do with 2 hands usually, but you can also just do one side at a time. So we're going to move. You're just following the brow bone around to this other spot right here that can sometimes get tender, the temple. And you're going to follow the occipital bone to this spot underneath the eye, and you're going to tap there. Sometimes with these spots, they'll feel a little bit tender. If you find that, then you're in the right spot. Next is a spot under the nose. So it's just right here above the Cupid's bow. And then it's not quite the chin, it's underneath the lips. So it's just kind of on this little crack that most people have on their face. You're going to tap there. And then underneath your collarbones, there's usually some tender spot right here. So you can tap there. You can do it with one hand just across and kind of get the thymus if you prefer. Get the 2 tender spots here with the hand at the same time, or you can do 2 sides. And the next spot is right here underneath the underarm. You're just going to get that one, or this side. Some people can do both sides at once. If you could do that, go for it. Usually I just do one side at a time. So what we're going to do is a setup phrase hitting the side of the hand, and then we're going to do a short phrase tapping here, tapping here, tapping here, tapping here, tapping here, tapping here, and there. And we're going to cycle back up to the top. We're not going to do the side of the hand when we cycle through. And tapping EFT or emotional freedom technique is something that has lots of scientific evidence for PTSD and a lot of stress-related conditions. And it has been said that, dealing with everyday racism is a source of PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder for many people. And also, just venturing on an anti-racism journey for the moms that are not BIPOC moms, it can be very challenging and confronting to look at ourselves and deal with ourselves. So the words that I'm choosing today are just free form. They're, off the top of my head. I'm not using a script. Making them your own, making them personal is really important. And the other thing is that when it comes to tapping, you're not going to reinforce things if you use a negative statement. So if there is something negative that you're feeling, it's actually very helpful to speak it out loud and to get it out. So we do say negative statements, and we get those out, and then we can always finish with positive statements if we want to. So, don't be afraid of saying some negative things if that's what you're feeling. It's great to actually get into that mind-body connection and get these out of your body, out of your nervous system where they are affecting you, so that you can really calm down and ground yourself. So again, I'm just going to try and do kind of a stream of consciousness. Hopefully what I say works for you. But again, if not, then you can certainly replace your own words for mine if you choose to do so. All right, let's get going. So these are setup phrases. Even though I can find it really hard on this anti-racism journey, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I wish I could do better on my anti-racism journey, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel like the work in the community is never done, I completely love and accept myself. Even though this work can be very frustrating, I completely love and forgive myself and others. Even though I need to dig deep to find compassion sometimes, and even though this work is very confronting, I completely love and accept myself. Even though this is a constant journey that feels like it never ends, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I know that my impacts are not always what I intend, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I know that there are ways that I continue to feed the heteropatriarchy, I completely love and accept myself. Even though there are ways that I continue to oppress others, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm failing a lot on this journey and I'm tired a lot on this journey, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I still have blind spots and there are many different groups that I continue to offend and to oppress, I completely love and accept myself. Even though there are still blind spots where I don't see my own privilege, I completely love and forgive myself. Even though there are still many ways that I use language that is not ideal, I completely love and forgive myself. Even though it turns out that I am more racist than I thought, or more biased than I thought, I completely love and forgive myself. Even though it often feels like there's way more work than we can ever do, I completely love and forgive myself. Feeling connected to others, feeling vulnerable, feeling compassion for myself and others, feeling connected to others in the group, appreciating the work that I am doing, appreciating the work that others are doing, appreciating being a part of this evolution, appreciating being in community, appreciating learning new skills, appreciating learning to collaborate, appreciating learning how to not make it always about myself, appreciating how to make it about myself if I am a woman of color, a Black or Indigenous mom, appreciating learning to be more visible if I haven't let myself be visible so far, appreciating that my voice is important, appreciating that my words have power, appreciating the power that I have as a mom to influence the next generation, understanding that racial justice doesn't happen overnight, understanding that we're fighting generations of white supremacy and heteropatriarchy, seeking to prioritize the voices that need to be heard the most, seeking to uplift Black and Indigenous voices, seeking to uplift trans and gender nonconforming voices, seeking to uplift non-binary and intersex people, seeking to uplift the voices of differently or disabled folks, seeking to amplify the voices of non-neurotypical folks, seeking to amplify the voices of the poor, the fat, the different bodied, the undereducated, immigrant, Latinx, Muslim, refugee folks, and more. Seeking to see more of my own biases, trying to understand more my own power, seeking to use my power for change. Understanding that I need to rest sometimes. Understanding that I need to take care of me to continue on this journey. Understanding that this is a marathon and not a sprint. Understanding that I will be wrong many more times. Understanding that others will be wrong and I need to hold them lovingly accountable. Understanding that this is a journey. Understanding that, I've also been born into this white supremacy. Understanding how deep it goes. Understanding the intergenerational trauma. Completely loving and forgiving myself. No matter how much I've played the victim, no matter how much I've been the oppressor. Understanding that racial justice can't be achieved without me, without my kids, without learning to work in community, without love, without compassion, without patience, understanding how fierce love really is, using love's power, using the power of spirit, connecting through love, connecting through spirit, connecting to myself, learning to love myself, learning to see my flaws, and continuing to love and accept myself despite them, continuing to work, continuing to struggle, continuing to try, speaking up, fighting the good fight, continuing this work, understanding that mothering is work. Even if there are days when I can't show up in this work, I continue to do so in my mothering work. I continue to be honest. I continue to be authentic. I continue to show up. I continue to speak from the heart. I continue to evaluate. I continue to engage with folks and organizations that are engaging in this fight. I continue to engage with folks and organizations that are upholding white supremacy. I continue to engage in this dialogue to change things. I continue this work. I am a lifelong learner. I keep it real. I keep it raw. I keep my word. I keep trying. I continue to forgive myself and others. I continue to have compassion. I continue to come to this work with energy and compassion. I continue to believe. I continue to have hope. I continue to support others who are doing this work. I understand that we are all in a different place on this journey. I understand that I'm going to continue to be wrong. I understand that it's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. If you're a BIPOC mom, you may want to choose different words. Maybe it is about you. Maybe it's about amplifying your voice. For me, it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about amplifying the voices of people who need to be uplifted. It's about amplifying the voices that haven't been heard. It's about amplifying the voices of the underrepresented. I continue to bring every ounce of myself to this work. I continue to speak my truth. I continue to learn. I continue to be personally and professionally integral. I continue to focus on my impact over my intention. I continue to not let myself get off the hook. I continue to not let myself speak bullshit. I continue to honor my needs. I continue to honor the needs of others. I continue to strive to understand those who are less privileged than me. I continue to strive to understand my own privilege, the depth of that privilege, what it has afforded me, compared to others in other parts of the world, compared to others right here at home. I continue to try. I forgive myself. I am going to allow myself to rest when I need it, to sleep when I need it, to cry when I need it, to move my body. I promise to take care of myself so that I can continue this work. I continue to honor my needs. I continue to honor this work and the needs of others in the group, and to be there for others, and to be there for anyone that's engaging in this decolonialization, this anti-racism work, and trying to just become more aligned with spirit, with energy, with nature, becoming more aligned with community, with other women, with feminine energy, with the divine feminine, and to promote that in my work and in my life. It's a constant journey, and I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I'll take care of myself. I'll take care of my family. I will put myself first. I will continue to do this work, but I will continue to put myself first so that I can continue to do this work, so that I continue to make change. I understand that I don't understand everything yet. I understand that I need to make mistakes in order to grow. I understand that it's not always going to be comfortable, and I forgive myself for wishing it was easier. I forgive myself for all the mistakes that I made in the past. I forgive myself for hurting people, even though that's very difficult. I continue to do this work, and I understand what it requires of me, that it requires my energy, it requires my intention. And I allow myself to take a rest when I need it. I allow myself to do things that bring me joy. I admit that this can be extremely tiring, that it can be extremely draining, that it can be extremely hurtful to hear the news, to do the research, to do the work. But I will not give up. I believe in myself. I believe in the power of this work. I believe in the power of our community. I believe that we can continue this, that we will leave it with love in our parenting, in our anti-racism work. We just have to stick to our vision. We have to remember that we're human. I hope that tapping through some of that was helpful for you. I do find that tapping can really help to, bring down the level of anxiety or stress that I'm feeling. You obviously don't have to tap for that long if you don't need to. Please make the script, your own, add your own words, do what feels right for you. I know we have a lot of non-BIPOC moms in the group, so I was catering a lot to those of us that are struggling on our anti-racism journeys. If it would make it more your own to speak more to the Black and Indigenous experience, I would love to invite anyone else to send me some words. I can make a new script for you. Or, I invite you to try the tapping as well and maybe record it for others. Certainly, there's no wrong way to do it. You can't do it wrong. You can't hurt yourself doing it. And it also really helps to take a scale of 1 to 10 for any anxiety, stress, sadness that you're feeling at the beginning, and take a scale of 1 to 10 at the end as well. If you can bring it down to a 2 or something, that's great. If you do the work and you find that you've just brought it down to a 4, you might want to do it again, do another round, and see if you can actually bring that anxiety or that sadness or that anger, all the way down so that you're refreshed and ready to get back to your anti-racism work. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that was helpful, And, we'll do it again sometime. Bye for now.